Hi everyone, welcome back. This is actually into the future, so I'm just going to load a game from the past because yet again OBS has absolutely fucked up my recording and I've had enough of that shit, but hey ho. So yeah, let's just continue and try to do all the things I've done in the past hour. So I'm going to unpause and now it's going to complain that this is lost because in fact this is not supposed to be here. So you go get sold, you go get cloned, go fine. So what I attempted to do in the previous one was continue with the clay pits. And now I know that that's the only thing I'm going to do, apart from having a major reorg right here. So let's start with the major reorg because that seems to be a little more painful. I spent a lot of time and I managed to crash a whole bunch of vehicles while at it. So you, go away, send to depot and close the airport somehow. Okay, we'll wait for all this to happen. And while we're at it, I'm going to clean up all the crap that has come in here. And I really don't care about any of the vehicles at all. So what's basically going to happen as a bit of a look into the future thing, if all these go to a freaking depot, man. Okay, this is not helping me. Just depot, depot, go to the freaking depot. So there are 2 ports further up the map which need to be hooked in. Right, this seems vaguely okay. Now let me see if I can drop this. Yes, awesome. So we don't want any of this. And we're also going to transfer their output, generally speaking, here-ish, but we need to extend this whole place. So what's going to happen is airport, large, intercontinental. Also, I think initially this was a smaller thing. So that's your distribution center. And then add a very large that. Except that this will not quite do because I need a lot of space here. I mean, doing everything the second time has its benefits because I really spent the better part of an hour figuring this out. And it was painful to do or watch. Okay, so cancel send to depot and go. Now the maglev is a okay. Let's do the trains. So I want a third station, and that's going to be 6 tracks. Except that it has to start here. Distribution center. I did kind of say that, and goods will just be 2 track. Squeeze in here. So what we do is these two keep coming this way. These will serve some future stuff that's not yet established. These will basically just be your standard I'm not sure we have a lot more space. This will need to move a little. Depots are always in the way. Nope. Obviously, nope. And this is just not long enough, but okay. In which case, let's try this again. So it was goods to which will, I think we should just be everything here. Not grain, you idiot. Goods, right, 6. So try this again. These two here, these two there, these two there. Okay. And then depot. All right, nice. So you can go. How did you, for fuck's sake? All right, so that's fine. This is, I think we don't have any more. This is also fine. The magleves are not fine. They need to come out somewhere here. 7. And then this little piggy. Okay, we actually need to make sure that these guys can come through, and I know for a fact that they'll be coming through from this direction. All right, so everyone go. And so what will then happen, I think there will be some disagreements. Why are you lost? because the signaling's wrong, as usual. So I'm going in a bit of a counter direction because I should actually establish those ports before I build around for them, but that would just be sensible. The annoying thing is, for God's sake, people are poking me. People in the US have woken up, like professionally woken up, and now they're everywhere. Okay, you need to not do that. So when I did the previous episode, I managed to squeeze this whole thing into 57 minutes, and I'm really hoping I'll be able to do the same, but not likely because, well, life. So there's one. I mean, especially if I keep being awkward like this, it's going to be challenging. Right. So what I want these two things here. One's going to be a very drop off, which we might not use because in the previous one I don't think we used, and a goods, which just in case. And there's another one here, which is going to be exactly the same thing. So goods, I know it's not there right now. It will be. So the in is obviously not particularly immediately relevant, right? So we don't want to hook everything. We'll work down the other rail. Are we paused? We shouldn't be. There's no good reason for such behavior. Fine. And get some depots here. And just in case, be off. Nope. Okay. So there are a few things that need doing. One is that we need a farm supple group. And within that, we're going to need a farm supple 5 group. And then I want to clone this before it disappears in a bloody tunnel. I know we're in the wrong side of everything, but start here, pick up there, and transfer here. Don't unload. And then we are going to make a new one because we don't have a group for that. Farm supplies. And you will do exactly the same thing. All right, that was part of the easy part. The questionable part is why we do not have signals all the way around here. All right, okay, fine. So there are a few things that need establishing here, namely that, okay, this, okay, don't do that. Good work. So we are going to have a bunch of these in places. Clay, medium, just go between these two and go. This is basic. How was this? Fuck. So essentially want to collect some of these, but some of these are pretty decent in terms of output. So I will want to get some engineering supplies in here because everything's going to be hauled into this place. The one with the airport, that is. I mean, mind you, why do we really have to go through all that? Bye-bye. Okay, can come through here and get zooked. So let's find engineering supplies. This is a little busy. Okay, you go there. So one of these is a 180. I think it's this one-ish. Depends on the month. So clone me two preferably small ones, if I even find it. Yep, good. This is 72. This is definitely useless. I'm reasonably sure that I had this one go in on the road in my previous iteration. So what happened was I started recording. It's a Bluetooth headset. And I was then dragged into some work-related stuff, so I had to disconnect the headset. And with that, when I reconnected it, OBS decided to hook onto the other microphone because I haven't, like, I'm being sarcastic because I very explicitly told OBS to ignore anything else, but clearly in its eternal wisdom, it decided otherwise. Mineral. 2, 2, 2, and then these two will go there. And that's kind of going to be a separate topic. Not that we needed such a large village. Okay. Now that I did this, probably not the most sensible. 2, 3. Okay, this is, yeah, this is the one in the back. So this actually needs to go off that way. Well, no, this needs to come this way. This is the way. We don't actually care about this, so I'm avoiding on purpose. Good work. Imagine being on a tram and lo and behold, there's a bridge in front of you. That wasn't there 5 minutes before. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not this branch. It's the other one. Yep. So I said this one's going to come here. So we do want to make them head this way. More or less. Now, I think it's going to be like so. Yep. Okay. So what's going to happen is there's going to be this also being hooked into that one. And I'm just going to abuse my pause right because I've had a slight blast of enough. And then this, yeah. So we're going to have two lines basically because some of these are or will be gung-hoed. that. This. This is 144. So let's find that load again. And go away. Oh, no, not this one. This one. Medium. Okay, what's your timetable time? 18 days, one's plenty. Actually, one's probably not plenty. In fact, it really is not. So, okay, now this is just long. So sell and not this, you idiot. Next supply small. Go away. Damn it. Shit's too small. Can't see it. Do that. And then make a second one and just clone the normal one. And instead of coming to the map pit, go here, go. So you're being sold. Fine. And then get a clay 3 train. Just get over it. And go. And then basically do exactly the same thing here. So clone that. Start here. So that should get this up to speed. And apart from, so here people talking to themselves are supposed to be deemed crazy, but I had this discussion with myself in the previous unpublished version where I don't want to boost these sandbanks because we don't need that much output. Doing that, and do this. What? This is so annoying. And incorrect while at it. So we want, I'm pretty sure we don't need a medium for this, but we'll just do it anyway. So one's going to go between these two, the other is going to go between these two and go. And then we'll get the chemicals from both places, really. You search. Don't know why I pressed, but I don't want it. You go sandbank, go clone large chemicals. They're totally going to be in the way, but hey ho. I'm pretty sure 2 will be enough. You go to chicken, whatever this is, and go. And then basically this is just going to lose us money because it is a way, way, way too close. Fishy, fishy. The fuck is your problem now? Ah, great, sorted. So I wanted a fishing boat, not farm supply, fish, which will lose money forever and ever. Good. Actually, do that. So fish, food, go, and then on the note of how not to lose even more money, these are a bit less bad. Food. You know, it's absolutely hilarious how much more efficient I am in this episode because I precisely know what I'm doing. Whereas when I was recording stuff an hour ago, trying to do exactly the same, it was just like pretty chaotic. 7. Okay, so it's enhanced at the moment. We'll pick up with the goods at some stage. Also, I need to actually just do that. I don't think we'll be making that much, but just divvy it up like friends. Clone. And instead of north, go south, precisely. Still have 20 minutes. So let's have a look at these. You're guncoing, but you just probably started doing that. You're guncoing, but you probably recently started that. You're in normal. That is Bane. And then so the other 2 were these, and this one's pretty good, and this one's pretty useless. So we just do mineral, and we leave this as is. We make this a little friendlier. I know it's missing. vaguely hilarious thing was that when I resumed recording the second half of the previous episode, which ended up being dumped, I totally failed to notice that there was no background music, not in the game, but on my headset, because YouTube's always playing. But I just got so hooked up with the fact that I had such and such minutes left, and because I'm off on a holiday, I'm not actually going to remember bleep all of what I was trying to achieve in a month's time. I have to finish, I have to finish, I have to finish. Totally mixed it up, like as you would. All right. Let's just make sure we have the usual suspects, and this is, as always, wrong. Which needs fixing. Why you be so stupid? I mean, okay, fine, but then we need to cross the lines at some point. Namely, yeah. And then this is wrong. Go away. I'll run a 5 here, but I'm not fully convinced. Most of the clay fights are pretty. Okay, save, go. I just need to check an email. So you are guncoing, which is exactly what we want. There's basically nothing here. You are guncoing, and there's not much here. Are you? You're not full, but vaguely full. Oh, this is hilarious because I did the previous episode in 57 minutes, whereas now we're done in 40. Lol. Which has a lot to do with revamping this in a more efficient way and not crashing three trains into each other, which is something I did do on the previous one. I am, however, thinking this could be made a little friendlier or less. Of course, now is everyone in here. Less junctured. forget about this. But I think this should give better options for getting in and out. This is still busy. I don't really think me doing stuff made any difference, which is how it should be. That's fine. I can't do a bigger bridge. This leaves me in a funny situation because I am suddenly done with what I wanted to do in this episode. Drastically. I do, however, I need to signal this. This is fine. This is not really fine. Make sure that these guys don't attempt to go back because they're stupid. Sandbank, I expect it to be okay. It's probably okay. 81 tons, marvelous. Ah, we're done. Lol. So, I mean, I guess what I should do really. Also, this is our side of the rail. If that matters at all, you're already going. But all of them are, so yeah. Yes. And I was leading along with the discussion on Discord the other day where someone said, and can't quote them, but the point was that road vehicles in OpenTTD are basically just a secondary thing. And the game is very heavily focused on trains being the main thing. And I vaguely agree with that, but I think a large part of it is that, there's a vehicle count restriction, which as of a week ago is now 10,000 rather than 5, because in version 16 beta 2, they bumped it. This is not being used, which needs changing. Actually, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So the point, just have made a bridge. In fact, that's precisely what I'm going to do now that I did all this fucking around. Like the reason why trains are the preferred way is because they're more economical, but also because you need to build a much larger number of road vehicles to take care of the same amount of goods or cargo, not necessarily goods per se. And especially if you're running a big map and you're limited to 5K vehicles rather than like 65K, like what I'm doing, then you're running. So am I taking the chemicals out of this stuff? Nope. You are exactly what I'm after. Which then makes me think I'm not taking it from here either. Oh no, I am. Fascinating. I'm taking it from both. Well, in that case, I'm not taking farm supplies. I mean, send still needs to go somewhere, right? So do I could just bring it here. I don't need to open up yet another place. Okay, I know why I did this, but it's going to be inevitable. So cancel all this. And you, Medea, I clone 8 send. Should keep an eye on the timer because I'm not actually running a timer. No, I don't need you to go to depot. I want you to go Aki. Coal mine here. Okay, I'm not going to start on the coal mine because I need to put down. Oh, I could just put down a steel mill station. Not a stockyard. So not there. It's probably going to be that one. I'm not tempted because that's a lengthier setup, which I do not want to bother with right now. Really? Because I have about 5 minutes. And of course, you know, a lot depends on how precisely, okay, that's rubbish. That's not so rubbish. That's also not so rubbish. Make 2 of these. Let's lose more money. Go away. Probably not the, oh, that's not too terrible. Timetable, fine. A lot depends on what trains you use and what GRF you use and that sort of stuff because, you know, there are ways to make your trains and vehicles more bound to your bidding. Which, watching this, you probably know, but I don't really think we need a large thingy bobby. So what's going on with the other lakes? This is being taken. Like we're not officially doing any sort of agricultural crap yet, but I have some minutes and at some point they'll need doing, so not farm supplies. I mean, if it's just going to head in here, then don't do that. Then I could just do this anyway. This is bugging me though. So, is the hotel? Yes. People. appear to eat in hotels. Weird food. That would actually require a station. Such as this also. Wrong direction. Bleep off. Go. These are so bad. Like, this is just like stupid. Um, I don't even know where the rooms are. Probably far away. Okay, you'll be both. So if you're still watching, then I'll be off for a month. And this video should go live around about the same time I come back, subject to all things working out as hoped for. Okay, 7% is just rubbish. Wow. Let's lose more money. So yeah, in theory, you should not be particularly without videos. In case a few are missed, I do apologize. It's not a terribly underboated place. I mean, I think fish is just meant to be these fishes eat money. Look at those. At 54 minutes, I think we've done what needs doing. It's funny that, why are you so incredibly poorly? Oh, because I said chemicals. Duh. Cell. I wanted clay. They all look the same. I mean, eventually I would have figured. Go. And this will, oh no, this was this, fine. That gets sold. Now I do want to suddenly make sure that I did not do the same thing here. No, it's okay, that's fine. Which also explains why you're Gunko and you are also Gunko. Okay, fine. All right, so thanks for that, watching me, and I shall see you in August, which is more or less when you would be watching this if all goes to plan. So, bye bye. Okay, delete this. Yep, 2 weeks off. Great. Bye bye.